Fahrenheit's so random. I don't mean to insult anyone who uses it, but it's just so... I don't remember what it's based on. Sheep, what was Fahrenheit based on? Where does 32 degrees come from as being the freezing point? Do you know?
It comes from that's how the number that it shows whenever that happens.
Oh, okay.
Time's up. Let's do this.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 263 of Born to Be Wild, a wild Hearthstone podcast where we have fun, hanging out with friends, talking about the wild formats of Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the wild community. I am your host, ElectricSheepCity. It is great to be back on this fantastic Friday evening here in Kickin' Rad, Colorado. I am joined by fellow host Hydralisk.
Yo.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs. And the video version of this podcast is posted to YouTube thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all of the podcast apps. However you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today. Thank you. Yes. You.
Content plug. Schmoopy daddy, schmoopy daddy, schmoopy daddy, schmoopy daddy, schmoopy daddy. Hydralisk. Before we get into the main topic of the show, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the absolute world to us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video on YouTube. Another simple way to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching this live on Twitch, we've got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is free if you use Amazon Prime. And finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 per month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you can see the show coming together each week. Check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join our Discord, a free and amazing online community of friends all across the world who love talking about wild Hearthstone. Links to all of this stuff and more, including our merch, can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Electric Sheep City. How was your week?
It was okay. How was yours?
Not bad.
Welcome to...
No. So my week was pretty good. I last Thursday, I think it was, had pink eye for the very first time ever. Yep.
Are you still contagious?
No, I'm no longer contagious. And my kiddo didn't end up having it ever, but I got it. And a few kiddos at his daycare got it. But
maybe he was
never
like a
did.
Carrier, I guess.
I also think that I could have opened the door.
Or you gave it to the
daycare center. No.
It was
That's not
you.
what I was thinking.
It was you.
No, I was thinking more like I opened the door and then, went to my car and, wiped my eye or whatever. And yeah, that's what I think probably happened. What can you do?
You need to go in there with latex gloves and safety glasses and then you'll be okay. Right.
This is the way.
Right on.
I've also been doing a lot of work. Been doing the work thing. I didn't tell you this. The other day I hit Legend and Standard for the first time in a couple months.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job. What'd you play?
Thank you. like the aggro pain demon hunter. So for demon hunter, I typically run emo rockarana with the turntable card back and the vinyl coin. And so this one I called "I'm Not Okay" because that's a My Chemical Romance song, which is, you know, on genre for emo rockarana.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's what I hit. That's what I hit legend with in standard. Actually,
it's
haven't
now
hit
in my
legend
head.
in our format yet. I probably
Ever?
will. No, I mean, you know that's Hydralisk. Hydra.
You know I kid.
Yeah. Oh, and this isn't really my week, but tomorrow, October 25th, is Guy Grumpy's birthday. So if you're listening to this on the 25th, or, you know, happen to be listening to it when we're recording on the 24th, and think about it, wish Guy Grumpy a happy birthday. I haven't talked with that guy in a little while, but I miss him. That's
I saw
positive
him
vibes
online.
and positive things. Ooh,
I saw him online like 2 days ago.
check it.
He was playing. He was definitely playing. So he must have been not so grumpy. It's so funny because Guy Grumpy's username is like the opposite of what he is. He's always like the nicest, happiest person ever, which is great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him as a person, as well as, you know, his content. I don't think he's been doing the content thing in a while, but he's a great dude, and he may have come
Was
back.
it Happy Hearthstone he was continuing on with? Is that what it was?
Yeah, for a little while at least. Yeah. So now I'm a little sad thinking about how I haven't talked to Mr. Grumpy in a little while. So to bring my spirits back up, Hydra, please tell me about your week, because I know that you've got to have had a stellar one. Tell me about that thing.
Well, to bring your spirits up, I finished reading Roots. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That book did not
That's not
bring
one
my
that will bring your
spirits up.
spirits up. No.
No. The only, like, I think it's really, I guess, important for people to know the history and what all transpired. And if you haven't read it, you know what? I tried going back and watching the old miniseries after reading the book, and it's a hard watch. Like it's good, but it's very yeah, Toby is Kunta Kinte. But yeah, it's in the book, you're in Kunta Kinte's head, so you hear the inner monologue, and in the movie it's just like silent and you can't hear what he's thinking a lot of the time. And so you're just observing these like quiet scenes, not movie, miniseries, but I feel like you're missing a lot of sort of what's going on there. But anyways, what I think is really cool is like it's written by an ancestor of Kunta Kinte, and you get to sort of see the connection over the course of like 200 years. And then how, it's not a spoiler, but like at the end, it sort of explained how the guy who wrote the book figured it all out, right? Like it's a combination of stories told down the timeline of his family through his family tree, and also he fact checks a lot of the stuff with stuff in libraries and all this sort of thing, and like it all comes together, and it's really cool to see that whole thing. But and then I continued. I had started reading at some point The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is a collection of novellas, each take like about an hour to read. And there's like a dozen, I think, of them. And I think I've got 4 left. And that's cool. Most people have read these. I would assume they were written back in like the 1890s, 1880s, something like that. But I never have, okay? And you know what? I've watched every single episode of Next Generation where Data likes to go into the holodeck and pretend to be Sherlock Holmes. And I bet you if I go back and watch those episodes of the Next Generation, I will now get way more of the jokes and themes and everything that actually happened there, because even when I watched the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., like there's no way I actually would understand because I didn't know any of the stories. So I had already read his first 2 novels, and then I'm reading this, and I'll continue with it. It's good fun stuff. Also, we were joking around before the show. I've got this like hole in my hand. It looks like a hole on camera, but it's actually a popped blister. And we were joking around that I'm blister guy because I had a bear again decide that it doesn't know how to use doors, which is fine. It tries. But a bear in my backyard went to the gate, so it knows that the gate is a door. But after scratching around where the latch actually is, because you can see the scratch marks, it can't successfully manipulate the latch and get out. It just says screw it and then busts through the fence boards. And after that, it decided to get into the garbage. It was garbage day that morning, so the garbage was out for the truck to pick it up. And it put the garbage all over the driveway. It was all over the place. So my wife saw the garbage first, and she was out there cleaning it up at 6 a.m. And then I came out to help. I noticed that there's just fence boards all over the driveway, and it's a mess. And so I was fixing the fence, and the battery on my electric drill gun died, and I couldn't find my corded one. So I was holding the screwdriver just like in my hand, and I'm like screwing the fence back together like this, and it was just rubbing in the same spot like over and over and over again. And I just got this stupid blister, unfortunately, right in the middle. So it's like the worst spot. So like you'd move your hand and it like cracks the scab, and I was getting like oil and stuff in it at work, and it was stinging, and it was awful. Not really fun. But that's the story of the hole in my hand. I mentioned the other day that I had started wine fermenting. So I had a bunch of grapes in the backyard, and I did the primary fermentation, which I'm doing red wine, and that's where you actually leave the skins in and like the pulp, if you want to call it. I can't remember the proper term that they use. But I've moved on to the secondary part where you remove the solids and strain it, and then you just leave the liquids. So that's what this looks like. So this is in a mason jar, and this is like a 500 milliliter thing of wine. It's got this thing on the top. Looks like a baby bottle, but it's a vent. They call it a pickle pipe. And yeah, so like I've got a whole bunch of these, which is super cool, and it already tastes like wine. It's been 2 weeks. Like it tastes like wine. It's a little yeasty still, but like if you have a little taste, it's actually pretty decent. But obviously you have to leave it for a lot longer. This is now it's called like the second fermentation. So this is my first time, and if my wine turns out to be horrible, I will lie and tell you it was awesome. Because I don't want to fail. No. I'm hoping it turns out great, but that's why I'm doing small batch wine. So I've got like a dozen of these jars that I'm doing it in, instead of like one big vat. So I don't mess up like one large batch. I could possibly mess up one or two of the smaller batches, and it will be okay because I'll have more. Yeah. And then the other one, I haven't really talked about this on the show very much, but switching jobs. And yeah. So it's kind of scary because what I have is comfortable, but I've been given an opportunity that is very close to my house. I can walk to it. It's 1.5 kilometers away from my house. So I could drive and it'll take like a minute and a half, or I can walk there and it'll take 15 minutes. I was doing calculations. I'll save like $4,000 on fuel a year just by switching jobs, not to mention like wear and tear on my vehicle and adding the kilometers or mileage, as you might say, to my truck, right? And it's just there's a lot of benefits to it. It might be hard. Oh, you have a question? What's up?
Have you considered recording a podcast during your morning traversal to your place of employment? You could call it stroll towards employment. There we go. Stroll towards employment.
Yeah, I don't think that's been done.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a novel idea, right?
There's got to be a market for that. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Could probably play a game of Hearthstone on the way too. That might work.
Ooh, that's a great idea. But only if you vocalize all of your plays and how your opponents do it, so that, you know, because I doubt that you're going to record video for this while you're strolling towards employment. So you know, you're going to have to paint the picture verbally, and I know our buddy Ray is pretty good at doing that thing. So maybe you could pick up some pointers from him on that one. Him or just a guy. Just a guy also.
Oh. That was a drive to work one. I can't remember what that was. That was funny. That was really good. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It's really cool. It's not far. There's a lot less stress. I used to have to deal with this massive budget and all this stuff and all these employees and all this responsibility and everything. And I'm kind of going more into like doing 3D design and programming and doing a lot of quality stuff, which I've all done before. So it's not unfamiliar territory, but I do have to learn new software that I haven't used before, just because this company uses a different branding of software than what I'm used to. I just have to kind of like learn that end of it. But I think I won't be able to correctly explain everything until next week, because I start on Monday. And we'll see how it goes, right? I don't know. I think it'll be fine, but and the pay is good, right? And it's close to home, so I'm just sort of huge congratulations. Like I know that I'm known for a little bit longer. You know, that this was something that was kind of percolating up. So if I didn't, you know, seem to the listener to be particularly enthused, like it's because I've been like, yo, yeah, go, and like I've been egging him on for a little while, but I just wanted to officially say on the record, like, dude, congratulations. I'm really glad that you were being rewarded like this, because I know that you've put in the time, the effort, and the dedication to really see it pay off like this is really good. So congratulations, buddy. Mm-hmm. Thank you. There's one added benefit that I would like to mention that's actually one of the bigger ones. I mentioned that there's not much of a commute, right? So I get back like easily an hour and a half of my day. But you know, on TV, when you see families, like for some reason before school and work, they're able to like at least have a quick breakfast together, like mom's making toast and dad popped out of the shower, and like then like they scramble some eggs, and like the kid at least eats a bowl of cereal real quick and gotta go school bus, but like at least it happens like that. I've never had that. I've never had that because like I always have to get up for work so early because I've got to commute, and then my wife and I work in different directions, and like nobody starts at the same time. I will actually have that window to have a breakfast with my family in the morning, which is like never been a thing. It has not. So that's probably one of the biggest perks is even if it's 5 minutes, maybe it'll be 15, but it's been 0 this whole time. So yeah. Anyway, enough about me. What's in the news?
Welcome to the news. The news is so good.
And the news is pretty good. So there was a blog post thing about Across the Timeways community events. So they first start off by talking about the Theorycrafting streams. And y'all, those were yesterday and today for some of the AAECAa or something like that. I think that that is over as well, but those have just concluded. Definitely, if you're listening to the podcast version of this thing, and we did one, so that was very exciting. We'll be talking about that extensively in that discussion topic. So, it starts off by talking about the Theorycrafting streams. Excitement abounds to have done that thing there. Goes on to talk about the pre-release Tavern Brawl, which is October 28th through November 4th. So, coming right up. The 28th is next Wednesday, I believe?
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah. So, that's a different day than most of the Tavern Brawl days. So
you're right. That is weird.
But I think that these kind of heroic, or not heroic, but like pre-release ones have historically been at a little bit of a different time. So I think that, or a different date. They say, jump into Across the Timeways early with our pre-release Tavern Brawl. Get a glimpse into the future by opening your Across the Timeways packs early and build a deck using cards from the core set, the event set, the Lost City of Ngoro, and Across the Timeways. Please note that Dive the Galaka Depths, the Paladin quest, will be banned.
Huh.
So, yep.
They just don't want everyone playing Murloc Paladin the whole time and ruining it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
It's because it's everywhere on ladder anyway, and they're probably worried that that's just going to be an easy way to win games, right? Because it's just... I'm guilty of it myself. When I need to play standard games, I still just queue up that deck, and I still win games. It's been a whole expansion cycle, and it's a little boring, but but I still do it because it's easy and it wins, and I complete quests.
I mean, you could always just leave up a different... No. So, all players will get one entry into this pre-release Tavern Brawl for free. After that, it'll cost 2 tavern tickets or 300 gold or 400 rune stones. So whenever you do one of these runs, you play until you either have 6 wins or 3 losses, and your rewards scale with the more wins that you have. So if you've heard us do this spiel before, it's pretty much, it's very, very similar. So I'm not going to go over the pricing too much on that one, or the reward schedule too much on that one, but it's there. You can get up to 4 Across the Timeways packs, as well as an Across the Timeways common card and rare card. So neat. There's also an update on Rewind. Can you read this dev comment for us to kind of contextualize like why they're looking into this Rewind mechanic a little bit?
Time goes by so slowly. All right. So, and sometimes a little too slowly. With the Across the Timeways pre-release Tavern Brawl giving everyone a chance to jump into the time stream and explore the new set, we're making some changes to improve the experience. We've heard your feedback about the rewind effect feeling longer than expected and occasionally frustrating, especially when multiple rewinds are used in a single turn. To help address those concerns in the 34.0 patch, includes a few updates to Rewind. And given that Mr. Clocksmith in particular can use Rewind 3 times in a row, we're winding him down as well. From the very beginning, it was clear that Rewind would be one of the most technically ambitious keywords we've ever developed. But we believed that the excitement bringing time travel to Hearthstone would be well worth it. We love creating the feeling that you have the power to bend time itself with Rewind, chasing a better outcome through a blend of fantasy and strategy. When Rewind is activated, a sand veil covers the screen, not just for visual effect, but to allow the entire game state to reload, which naturally takes a bit of time. Our first mock-up of Rewind lasted a whopping 12 seconds. And through development, we discovered efficiencies that helped us trim it down to the version you see today. The updates to Rewind in this patch should make the effect feel a little snappier. We're continuing to explore further improvements to the Rewind effect, and if they prove successful, we'll plan to roll them out later in this patch cycle. So yeah, Rewind is super cool. And I think the first time I saw this effect, I was like, that's cool. And I think it's so cool because this is explained a little bit here because it covers the whole screen, which may have been actually forced. They may have actually had to cover the whole screen because they're resetting the game is what it says, right? Like the game state's being reset. So like how do we do that and not make it look glitchy? Let's put something on top of it. Right? And
sands over the hourglass.
We'll just cover the screen and no one will know. But 12 seconds, my gosh. So it's so funny because we were playing this during the Theorycraft stream, and I had mentioned myself, I was like, man, it's like such a cool visual effect, but I think I'm going to get sick of this like real quick. And it's funny to hear that it was like way longer, like probably 3 times longer before than it is now. And I was already like not enjoying
the duration
multiple times, the duration of it, like amazing effect. I think the idea to be able to, like, if you randomly generate something or discover something or whatever, pull something out of your deck to re-roll that is super cool. I love it. And I love the visual effect, but yes, the duration was like, my gosh, like you're obviously never playing that in like an APM deck. Like that's not going to happen because like you were destroying your turn timer by playing rewind cards.
Yep.
Rewind cards are cool, but it's good to see that they're taking action on this because It's, you know what's funny is they knew people were going to complain about it because they've already reduced it at least once, right?
True. Yeah. If it was 12 seconds initially, I mean, granted, 12 seconds is excessive, but still.
Do we know when patch 34.0 drops? That's where it says we'll see another improvement to it. But
I mean, the
when that
0.0
drops.
patches are typically when the new patches are, or when the new expansion is coming out, right? If I recall correctly.
Yeah, okay. Well, there we go.
I could
That's
be
when
wrong.
we'll see it. Yeah. Well, hopefully or not. And it'll be right then and there. And we'll
Check
see.
it.
But super cool effect. I really like it. Oh yeah, I really liked it. There's a bunch of things that I like. That was just a little annoying, but I digress. Actually, there was one final paragraph at the end here that stated, in the meantime, we're making a small adjustment by removing one rewind from Mr. Clocksworth. While this will slightly lower his power level, we believe it will lead to a smoother and more enjoyable experience for everyone. Thank you for your continued patience and support while we work to make Rewind the best it can be. Until next time. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
buddy.
a small adjustment by removing one, and maybe that's not permanent. Maybe that's temporary until they can make
Hopefully.
it quicker.
Yeah. I hope so too, because like, you know, none of the stats are changing with it. Like it's still an 8 mana 3/3.
Yeah, and it's going from 3 rewinds to 2 rewinds. And I get it. And then they do this, right? Like they'll ban a card until they can, like in Wild, until they can fix it. Right? Like I get it. Sometimes something is just to a point where we don't have the bandwidth to fix this right now, but we'll do something. And then we'll work on it in the meantime, and then give you the final product later. But we're trying to show you we're taking action, and as like there could be the other side where people are like, this is just lazy. Well, I know. I think it's actually things take work and time and resources, right?
They do.
Whoever thought of resources? It's not like somebody just like they got to discuss this, right? Like there's people at a boardroom trying to make a decision, and then there's teams that work on texts on cards, and then there's coding and people change things, right? And then they have to think about balance. Like it's bigger than someone just goes in and changes a 3 to a 2.
Exactly. Well, and Mr. Clocksworth also was the free card, that we're getting to kind of spotlight the.
Well, we don't get dust for it.
No.
Where's my dust?
It's not enchantable or disenchantable. So it's.
So
So all to say, like this lets people still get like, their hands on the new mechanic. It's a nerf, but it's not like banning the card. And it's making it smoother. Like those rewinds, man. However much it is an incredible mechanic. Holy moly. There was like a time or two whenever we like started rewinding, like shortly after the ropes started burning, and that was a poor choice because it just takes a while.
Yeah, but sometimes like you're playing more optimal cards or something that turn, and the card that you're choosing to play last is the one that you gotta rewind, or second last or something, right? That's the one that has the rewind effect, because maybe you had to play another card to buff that one, or like it's not always the first card you need to play that turn. And some turns are complicated.
Yup.
So yeah, towards the end, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, because maybe you need to take one action after or multiple actions after your rewind play. Imagine waiting 12 seconds. Like, and then having to do the rest of your plays. Yeah.
Woof. So, all to say, I'm glad that they made this change to Mr. Clocksworth because, wow. But hopefully they fix the overall time thing because holy moly, the mechanic itself is incredible. It just takes forever. Honestly, one like workaround that I would love to see implemented if the time itself to reset can't really be decreased is when you're rewinding, your turn timer is paused. You know? Yeah.
So I thought it's kind of funny. That was my original thought of how it actually might work when they showed us that animation on the original announcement. Is I thought that it was going to do that it would pause the turn time, because I looked at it going, like, this is taking up a lot of my turn to watch this thing happen. So in my head, I just figured it worked that way. Right. And then I also thought that I may even have said this on the podcast when we were like showcasing that, where if I was the opponent, I was going to be really annoyed because, like, oh, their turn's taking so long, right? Like, if you weren't playing a deck that had a bunch of rewind in it and your opponent's doing that, I'd be so exasperated just sitting there watching, because the turn it would be so much longer. Imagine rewinding 3 times in a turn. Adding 12 seconds each time.
Oh man.
36 extra seconds.
36.
I'm trying to play a game on the toilet on my 15-minute coffee break, okay? 36 seconds is a big deal. Well, yeah, but it doesn't work that way, so.
And I mean, the way that rewinding something works, it feels like it should work that way, right? Like if there's a wrong, but yeah. If there's a 3 minute and 20, no, you're correct that it doesn't actually, rewind the time in the thing. But like, if we've got like a 3 minute and 20 second song and we rewind 20 seconds, then, we listen to 20 seconds, we rewind 20 seconds, and then we start from there, then we still have to listen to the entire 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If we listen to 20 seconds, then we rewind 20 seconds. We don't then only have 3 minutes for the rest of the song, right? So mechanically, by the word rewind implies that you're going back, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Just saying. So that would be a fun workaround.
That it would be. But maybe they thought of doing it and messing with turn timers just like wasn't feasible in the program or something like that.
Very possible. Yeah. There's much more to coding than just like, oh, this is a neat idea.
Well, because also like the turn timers aren't the same every turn, right? Like turn 1 is faster than
true
later turns. I can't remember when that changed, but yeah, it's a long time ago.
It was a while ago. Well, last up in this news portion is that community days are October 28th through November 1st. So community days return with free packs from October 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific to November 1st at also 10 a.m. Pacific. You can get up to 10 packs just for watching any Hearthstone stream. 2 hours per drop. Note it said per drop, not per pack. That's not 20 hours that you have to watch. So the first drop is 3 Into the Emerald Dream packs. So 2 hours to get 3 of those packs. Second drop is 3 The Lost City of Ungoro packs. So watch 4 hours and you get 6 packs. And then the third drop is 4 Across the Timeways packs. So you watch 6 hours and you get those 10 packs. Only 4 of them are new. So still drops. Yep.
I like free stuff. And guess what? You're going to get free things just to watch the game that you play. So why wouldn't you do it? Pick your favorite streamer, have a watch, and earn new packs towards, all of these things. The new expansion, the last expansion, the one before that. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, buddy. Well, Hydra, shifting on over to our discussion topic. Oh, I no longer have, I don't have a button for it. That discussion topic thing that we did the other week.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I think I could do it.
Discussion topic.
So, Hydra, tell me a little bit about your theory crafting experience. Tell me a little bit about what decks you enjoyed co-oping the most. Please just talk to me about crafting some theories.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Blizzard and the creator program that gives us the honor to come and do these things. Once upon a time, there was a wild theory crafting, which we got to do. And when they decided not to do the wild theory crafting streams anymore, they easily could have stopped inviting wild players to the theory crafting. But instead, they still do, and they invite us to do the standard one. So that's super cool. And they've got, you can start at, it's like 9 in the morning and go till 9 at night. It's basically like a 12-hour event, at least for NA. Anyways, and sometimes we take the day off to do this. Sometimes we don't. We all had to work yesterday, which was a theory crafting day, but we all raced home at our different times. And Sheep, you got home first, and then I think you started the stream, and then Shmoopy Daddy got home next. But then he had this other like soccer coaching thing that he had to do, and then I showed up, and it was such a privilege to be able to do this thing. And like, we all have such busy lives, but we still made it work. And you piloted this time, and thank you so much for doing that, because it's fun. It's still like a lot of work, right? Like, you got to find the decks, and you got to provide commentary. And I find it so much easier to provide the live stream commentary when you're the one actually running the stream, right? Like, because you can hover cards, you can read what they do. And then the other guy or guys, like me and Shmoopy Daddy, or if it's you and Shmoopy Daddy, it's harder because you can't hover the card and read everything, right? So it makes it a little more difficult. But when I first got home and I like set up everything as fast as possible, because I was so excited, I was getting messages like all day long from the Theory Crafting Discord, and I'm kind of like la 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 la, like, because like I wanted to see it, but I didn't want to see it. I wanted to experience it. But when I got home, one of the first things that we did was play Hand Buff Priest. And I know that's not the first one you put on the list, but Hand Buff Priest seems so. The first time the words Hand Buff Priest came out of anyone's mouth, I was like, oh gosh, that I don't like the sounds of that, because most things that priests do, I usually hate, right? Like, it's a class that, it's kind of hated on because it can be annoying. It can be an annoying class. It's known for rezzing things over the years and making really, really big dudes. And it's just kind of an annoying class. And when I heard hand buff, I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. And guess what? It is annoying, but is it ever fun?
Yes. Good.
There's some great cards in here. So what's the name of the one? The 4 mana 2/4 with Divine Shield Sheep. Remember that card?
Yeah, that is...
I can't remember the name of it.
Let me scroll down on the show notes to there, because that is Hourglass Attendant.
Hourglass Attendant. Do you remember the text on Hourglass Attendant Sheep?
At the end of your turn, give minions in your hand +1/+1.
So that's not just like a battle cry. It does it once. It does it at the end of your turn, and it itself has Divine Shield, and it's got a bud on it, and it could already be buffed, and most likely will by the time you even play it.
Yeah, like Disciple of the Dove, like giving your entire hand +2 health. That's a 3-drop, so you can just like curve right into it. It's just like, oh, glorious.
Yeah. I found that this deck is probably one of the... I mean, I haven't seen the stats, but I'm pretty sure one of the more powerful decks that we actually played, and one of the more powerful decks that we played against. It's just good.
It really is.
I don't need Priest wins, but I'm going to play Priest. Is there anything like major that stood out in this deck to you that you like really enjoyed? Like different maybe things that work together?
Ooh, yeah. So one of the 5-drops, I believe it was Divine Augur.
I think
though
that's
maybe
the
it
one.
was Soldier of the Bronze, but Divine Augur, I believe, sets all of the cards or all the minions in your hand to the highest of the 2 attacker health. It matches the other one to it. So if you've got like Nomelia, it's buffed to be a 6/4. Nope, it's a 6/6 now, right? Like you've got a Overlord Runthak, got a lot more health than attack. Not anymore. Now it's got, like, we had a 12 attack Runthak, for example, because of that. Like that's another card that I really thought was powerful. In this particular, hand buff deck where you have the like payoffs like Eternus, where you can steal something if it has less health than Eternus does. Eternus is a 6 mana legendary card with like 2-3 health. But if you can start buffing up that health, then you can actually steal something worthwhile.
I was gonna say about the buffing to the highest. It's the wording is, it's not like make your health equal to your attack or make your attack equal to your health. It says whichever is higher.
Yeah.
Like that's the ceiling. The other one matches it. So it can be either one, right? So like a Dirty Rat that's a 2/6 is actually a 6/6, right?
Oh my gosh, that's gross.
Or I was memeing a little bit about trying like a Rager deck, like Magma Rager and all those different Ragers, because they're usually like 3 mana, 5/1s or something like that, but they would be 5/5s, right? Is how it would work, and they would also be buffed because you're buffing your deck. That's probably not a viable strategy with the Rangers.
Probably not, but it's at least cohesive enough to where you could like do it, and it probably wouldn't completely fail every time because it's cohesive. It makes sense. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's like a Divine Spirit Inner Fire. It's almost back to Roots, sort of.
A little bit.
If you think, but it goes either way, which is really cool. So I think that was one of the cooler things that you can do. And that deck just seemed pretty cool to me. I really liked it. And you know what? One thing that I enjoyed was, since we kept buffing everything, there were so many times that we were down to like almost nothing in our hand, but we could keep putting stats on the board. Like we would make it. We overcommitted. I know we did, but we would make a big board and we'd drop a couple things. Like what's the worst they could do? Yeah, okay, they killed it. But then we dropped like 3 more minions the next turn, and they weren't their original like 1-3 stats or whatever. They were like 7 sevens. Like, like it's cool. It's actually kind of funny because it sort of scales, and it can scale like the Murloc quest deck, really. And in how, like, as the game goes on, you can just keep having these bigger minions as you go. Hopefully it's not the new Murloc deck.
Yeah, I feel like these hand buff decks have a little bit more of like just essentially like a check built into it, because you're not buffing your hand and deck. So
yeah, it's just your hand in general. But you can draw and buff, which bird watching does that, right? That's like a draw and buff.
But you're limited to max 9 if you're playing 1 card to buff everything. So you're limited to max 9 instead of 30.
Maybe it was like
9 is a pipe dream too.
It was like making the Murloc thing, but powering it down a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's cool. It's actually really good. But some of it is like that 4-drop. Like I'm saying, the 4-drop. If that thing keeps living and keeps buffing your hand, it's not like like Grime Street Outfitter that like buffs your hand once when you play it. Like it's not that. This keeps going.
Well, and I feel like so many of them, that it's either buffing something with like Disciple of the Dove or Hourglass Attendant, the one you were just talking about. Or like Divine Augur, the one that we were talking about earlier, that's like Priestess of the White, like on crack because it's somehow cheaper, and also it's not a legendary, and also it does I digress, the higher of the two. But then you've also got your payoffs, right? So you've got your Cleansing Light Spawn, which is a 4 mana. I can't remember the base stats on it because we always buffed it. But it's got lifesteal and then deals damage equal to its health, I think. Something like that. It's either deals damage to its health or its attack. But like,
that was good.
That's a strong card. Right. And then we've also got, I think it was Amber Priestess, which is a 2 mana something that has taunt, and then also you heal something for the amount of health that it has. So like you buffed, at one point we had buffed that a few times, and so we played a 2 mana 7/7 that healed our face for 7, and that was like gross in the best possible way.
Yeah, it was cool because there'd be like decks that were trying to, let's say, aggro you down, and that was your staying power, your catch-up mechanic is like this deck also heals. Not only does it put like up big bad minions, it also heals. It steals. It heals, it steals, it's priest.
It heals, it steals, but this one's got tempo.
Yeah, it's good. I definitely enjoyed that. Well, what was another deck that was a highlight for you, Sheep?
Yeah, so I think, gosh, these were all so fun. But I think I'm going to go with SM Orc Hunter, because that was, I think, probably one of the other like best decks that we had made. So this one is, it's a face deck. You're just going face as much as you can. So some of the new cards, or newer, so like Neri of the Crater, it's not a brand new card, but whenever you play a 1-cost something at either, if it's a spell, it does it twice, or if it's a minion, it doubles the stats. So we've got like, Calderai Fletcher, which is a new card. If you have 3 or less or fewer cards in your hand, then your hero power is free. So because of that, we've also got like Sing Along Buddy. We've got Catch of the Day. We've got Dreambound Raptor. We've got Arcane Shot. We've got Wound Prey. I don't know that Wound Prey and Arcane Shot necessarily go in here with the not the Neri, but the Pet Parrot.
It was good though. There's some refill in here. There's a quick shot. Like there was ways to get draw. It was quick. I liked it. But I will hunt you down. When Hunter can go, this one can go. I like it. We'll see how it fares on the ladder, but it can go. We won games with this. There's some
Very
clunky hands.
so.
I think. I don't know if if we were just maybe not the best with our mulligans, or we would mulligan stuff away and get it back. But we got some clunky starts where we didn't have anything to do for the first couple turns, unfortunately. And it's got a low curve, but that's something that can happen. Obviously, that can happen with any aggro deck, but we did experience that a little bit. Because there's some cards you can't play, like it's the Pet Parrot, right? Like you can't play it unless you already played a 1-drop. So like you don't want to play it.
We could have played a 2-mana 1/1, but that
you don't
seemed
want
bad.
to play the 2. Right. And also when you have both 2-mana 1/1s in your hand.
That
And
was
then I think
unfortunate.
and then we had something else in our hand that just wasn't great. But stuff like that happens. But it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, buddy. So now that we've covered that one, what's your next best?
I was thinking, was it Dormant Demon Hunter? Is that the one that has the 7/9, which is the one with the 7/9?
That was that was Dormant Demon Hunter. Yeah, we'll pull that one up next.
Yeah, that was cool. So basically, you play as many as possible dormant minions, and like there were some cards here that worked like really, really well. It's so funny because like Ancient of Yore, it's a great card, and I think I underrate it normally. Like when I'm playing it, I find it awkward to play sometimes. And I was mentioning that on stream because it doesn't necessarily do anything to the board. Like you're just dropping 5 mana, and if you're behind, it's not really doing anything. It doesn't, but it came in clutch in this. And also we would make it dormant again, right? And then you could get more armor from it like over and over again. That was great. But then you get the serpent. I can't remember what we nicknamed it.
The girthy boy.
Oh yeah, the girthy boy. So that's Perennial Serpent.
Yes,
that's the one, right? Yeah. So at 8 mana, 7/9 with Rush. But it's cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, like the more dormant minions that you play, right? That's how that one worked.
So if you have a dormant minion on the board, then it costs 4 less. So
yeah. So they have to be there. It's not like played earlier. It's as long as they're there, right?
Yeah.
What if the minion?
So it can be 4.
What if the dormant minion has the keyword dormant, but it's no longer dormant?
Then it doesn't count. Yeah, it has to be actively dormant. It has to be actively inactive.
Okay. Anyways, Girthy Boy was great. A 4-mana 7/9 with Rush it's a good card. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. And it's not that hard to have a dormant minion on board with the deck that's running a bunch of dormant minions, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And so many that are just that curve nicely into this too, like Time Lord Nozdormu, the new Nozdormu, the Wyvern Slumber. That's the either summon 2 dormant, whatever, not wild seeds, but wild seeds. That's 3 mana. Grim Harvest, 2 mana, like so many options that just let you get that down super early and super consistently. That was such a fun deck. I don't know that we ever actually like completed the fabled thing for that. The Brock cigar or whatever, the one.
Yeah. Yeah, we were trying that. But for some reason, I don't think we ever completed it.
Because it was kind of like a side quest that, like, it's like, oh, you're trying to win the game. I'm trying to do this other little thing. And the other little thing is fun. But I think if we were to, try and make this, like, super competitive, we would have taken that. We would probably take that out and put three other cards in there instead, because it's a fabled card, and that's how that works.
Also, red card comes in clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because you can use it to get Girthy Boy down, or you can use it to win, or you can use it to stall, right? Like that. Yeah, red card was good. Red card, good card.
Very good card. I also don't know that in the competitive version of this, we would play Magtheridon, but also, like, Magtheridon kept us in a couple of games.
Yeah.
It was fun. So again, I don't know that it would be worth it, but it was a blast. So now that it's my turn to introduce a deck, I'm going to go with Supreme Archaeologist. This is a Rafaam deck. So we had a large number of folks playing Rafaam, and we tried it out too. I don't think that our version was as good as some of the others, to be completely honest. And by our version, I mean the one that I made. I'm saying that other people were better at making the Rafaam lock than I was. But
there's always someone better than everyone at something.
True. But it's a pretty fun deck. So the main conceit is that it kind of revolves around Time Thief Rafaam. So Time Thief Rafaam is one of those fabled cards, but this one has 10 cards, or so 9 cards with it. So all in all, including Time Thief Rafaam, it's 10 cards. Yeah. But it also increases the size of your deck to 40 cards, like Renathal does. So you basically get an extra 10 cards to your deck, but all of the Rafaam things do, like Tiny Rafaam is a 1-mana 1/1 with like Death Rattle, draw a Rafaam. Green Rafaam, the 2/1, the 2-drop Rafaam is like it's basically Rafaam Keliseth, but just for your hand, not for your deck, and just for Rafaams. So things like that. It's a very synergistic package with other Rafaams, but also Time Thief Rafaam, the 10-drop, is if you've played all the other Rafaams, then the battle cry is that you win the video game. So that's the real funny thing there that everyone wants to do there. But they're also good tempo. They also do a lot of things that, like Archmage Rafaam, the 9-drop, turns every minion that's not a Rafaam into a Ba-Faam. So it basically sheeps everything that's not a Rafaam, which is awesome. So this is another one of those really fun decks. I'm pretty sure that you're going to see a lot of this because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's not going to be super competitive because it's so control-y. And I want to advance my own game plan. But also that kind of rock, paper, scissors is how metas work. So we'll see. We're going to see a lot of Time Thief Rafaam. So we'll see how it shakes out. But do you have any additional thoughts to the Rafaam deck, Hydra?
I think it's pretty fun. I think what our problem was, like, we kept burning Rafaams when we were playing. So that was an issue. We had hand space issues was kind of like a big one for it, like each time we played. So we didn't really get to pull it off, but we got to see other people pull it off. That's for sure. Actually, we had a mirror match. I can't remember who it was. One of our friends who beat us in it. I don't know. Remember if it was Daniel did it or if it was Ben. Somebody beat us. We were able to pull it off, but our opponent definitely did, and it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've got 3 more decks that we played. Which do you want to cover next?
You know what? I don't know how much time and effort we really gave it, but anytime something says aggro pirate shaman, I'm like,
Oh, so we played this like right before you came in, which I think is why we didn't play it a ton after you got there. This deck is fun. This deck is good.
So like aggro shaman in the mid-range shaman that was back in the day was like one of the most, I mean, that's when what was it? Was it Spirit Claws that got nerfed for that deck?
Yeah.
Anyway, and Small Time Buccaneer was in it and it got nerfed. That deck was awesome, and it had the Tunnel Trog Totem Golem thing in it, and it was good. It was really good, and yeah, and then you had patches because I think that's when Mean Streets was first like around, and yeah,
Thunderbluff
there's a
Valiant.
patches. Yes, there's a patches in this deck too. It's not the same patches, but so. Yeah, I see a lot of cards that I have played. There's patches. There's the Adrenaline Fiend in here. Like this looks really fun, but I didn't get my hands on this. But if I'm gonna be having some standard quests, I'm gonna be rocking some aggro pirate shaman. How did the games go with this one? I saw us play against one, but we didn't get to play it when I was on stream.
Yeah, so the fabled card here, Muradin High King, is incredible. So it's like a 5-mana something that battle cry, like you get the War King's or the High King's Hammer. It eats it. So as long as the High King's Hammer is in your deck, then whatever it is initially becomes a 6/6 with Rush and Wind Fury. So there was one game where Schmoopy and I were playing where our Muradin got, I want to say 36 damage face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was more than 2. But then also once Muradin perishes, the death rattle is that the weapon goes into your hand. And then the weapon's death rattle is whenever it dies, it gets +2 attack and shuffles back into your deck. So like, it also gives your hero Wind Fury. So like, it's just a good card. It's just it was a really fun and really strong deck. It's aggro. There's so much to love here. There really is. So it's a blast, and I'm very excited for you to get to play this one too. Well, the penultimate deck that we played was Aura Paladin, or what I called on here, Aura or Oraint. So this kind of revolves around Gelbin of Tomorrow, which is very much like Mysterious Challenger. So it's an 8-mana 4/4, I think. Can't recall the stats. That's not why you play it, because it plays one of each aura from your deck. And, you know, we're running auras like Crafter's Aura, which is giving us random 6 drops. We're running things like Chronological Aura, which is a new one that every time it gives you, or every turn it gives you a 3/4, I believe it was, Dragon with Taunt. Of course, we're running Cardboard Golem, which is making all of our auras, be they in hand, in play, or in deck, just last longer. So then different ways, of course, to also like draw into our like a Gelbin of Tomorrow, you know, playing Mysterious Challenger on curve. So we've got Ursine Maul to be able to tutor that out. So that's just felt so tight. It felt really good, and it felt really powerful, and it felt really fun. And that's, you know, the biggest point of pride there.
Yeah. No, I think you said it all. That's exactly. It was a good deck. I liked it. We'll see how much it sees play. I don't know, but I love the big payoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
8-mana 4/4s.
Oh yeah.
But the auras. All right. So our last one was the Vona deck. So if this one was cool because this one is very much like a Zooey aggro deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you make it to the end, so it's Party Planner Vona, right? This is the name of it. And
yeah,
it's a 6-mana 4/4. The battle cry is if you've taken 8 damage on your own turn, summon, how do you say it's like Ouroboros?
Ouroboros.
Like Aurora Borealis? Ouroboros. And so anyways, there's plenty ways to do that within the deck. There's ways to damage your face. So, I mean, including your hero power and things like Flame Imp and whatnot. So you can damage yourself. That's not a big deal. So you need to do that to a total of at least 8 damage. And so summoning the Ouroboros, that's the 8/8 that has taunt. And so you don't have to pay it. It was summoned. 8/8 taunt, give a minion in your hand death rattle, summon an Ouroboros. So basically it's like a zoo deck that has this ability to play like infinite giants at the end. It's like this end game. So that was like the coolest thing about it is like a lot of those quick decks run out of steam. And that was cool when like the Pirate Quest deck, the warrior one, it ended up getting an end game, right? Like Pirate Warrior didn't have much of like an end game, and that gave it that. This is like bigger than that. If you can like pull this off, you get an 8/8 and give a minion in your hand this death rattle, and all your minions are cheap. And so you just keep playing these small things that have these death rattles, and you just keep getting 8/8s over and over and over again. So if you're going long, you can actually beat these other decks. And the best part is that the Ouroboros has taunt, right? So it's not like they could say, oh, like, screw it. Why would I kill that? Because we don't want the effect to go off and give another one in their hand taunt. They have to, if they, can't go over the top or
that minion with taunt is in the way.
That minion with taunt is in the way. Something we're reminded of all the time. So I think it's cool. Definitely there's counters to this. Obviously, there's holes here. You can silence a thing so you can end the streak or whatever. Are you really going to run silence just to stop this? Maybe they play this on ladder like crazy, but I think this deck was cool. What did you think?
Oh yeah, I had so much fun with this deck, and I can't remember what they're called. It was like time shreds or something like that. Is kind of another key element of this one. So that's one of those new mechanics. So you get like what was it? The Twilight Time Hopper was a 2-mana 4/4. Shuffle 2 of these things into your deck, which are cast when drawn. Deal 3 damage to your hero, right? So all these things that are shuffling in, like mini bombs that are, blowing up on your hero. But you're not really too worried about taking damage on your own turns, because that just means that Ouroboros, through Party Planner Vona, is online earlier, more consistently. And there are also ways to like get payoffs for it too. So like, I can't remember which one, was it Fate Breaker? No, Ruinous Void Drake is a 5-mana 5/5 with Rush. But if you have a Time Shred in your deck, cast it, so you do take the 3 damage, but you summon an extra 5/5 with Rush. That's pretty worthwhile. So all of that kind of like zooey tempo in the early game, but then that like playing overcosted minions or minions with like super beneficial like payoffs, with the downside being something that you want to do anyway, which progresses a different one of your game plans, and this one being Vona, is just everything about it it just felt so eloquent. So Cyrus made this one, and I mean it was fun. It was good. So big agree on all fronts there, Hydra.
Yeah, no, definitely a great experience overall. I love testing out these decks and playing against friends. We played against a few friends online, which was really cool. I appreciate that, and against other people in the community. There was times where we versed Dane like 4 times in a row.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think. Like that was
funny.
Yeah. I think if we're done with our discussion topic, I could ask you a question.
Unrelated Advice with Electric Sheep City.
That's you. All right, Sheep.
Oh, hi.
So, as explained at the top of the show, I am starting a new job on Monday. And I would like to know the top 2 things that I should do on day 1 and the last 2 things I should do on day 1.
Okay, so the first thing you should do on day 1 is turn the door handle, turn the door knob. Essentially allow yourself to open the door. The second thing you should do is open the door. So you see, number one is allowing you to open the door. Number two is opening the door. As it goes on, you're going to be entering the building. Then you're going to be, But you asked for the first two things, right? The last two things that you should do, however. The penultimate thing you should do is turn the doorknob.
I saw this coming.
Or is open the door, I suppose. Is open the door. Yeah. Last thing you should do is leave the building.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that on
Born to be wild.
Very clever. Clever girl.
You see, I answered a question.
Yep. You took my words very literally.
And really, I think the other one was the top two. Like, I think the last two, I got away with, but I think that top two, that was a stretch. But last two I felt clever on that one.
Yeah. By last two, I mean don't go into my boss's office and pee on his desk. It's kind of like what I was going for, but
I mean, depends on what your new boss is into. Discuss consent. That's the first thing you should do.